Video, I will walk you through some potential ideas on how you can take the catapult that you designed in first semester and modify it a little bit so that you can use it for the second semester LUSD 3D printed catapult contest. This document here is found in the class website, class documents, and then if you go to task sheets, and then you can find the one that said past task sheets, and I believe it's the mini catapult requirements, number 15 in this case. And if you scroll down a little bit here, these tutorials, particularly right here, will walk you through how to create the base. So especially right here, an example base. So that is the SolidWorks file that I have here. You may actually have it floating around in your documents. If you don't and you need me to give one to you, I will, but I will charge you a few points for not starting with this base yourself. As soon as you locate this, I would make a copy of it. So I would save as, and then I would call it like 3D printed LUSD Catapult, so that your original one is left intact in case you need to use it. Because there's a weight restriction on the catapults, you may want to make some modifications to this, and I just kind of want to walk you through a few things about it. Probably the one thing you would possibly make a change in is the thickness of these walls all the way around here. That was done on this part called the channel feature here, and if you look at this sketch, came in two parts. We basically drew a rectangle on the top of the wood block here, and in this case I did 0.35 inches away from it. I'm going to leave this intact for now, but then the other part of it is how deep we cut. So if you go to the feature on that, you can see that that got extruded 1.25 inches. And remember, this was all designed to fit on a 2x4, so that's why we did this, and it was designed to be done on the CNC mill. So the one thing you'll probably want to add to your catapult is some sort of triangular structure here where you could potentially traverse a bar across it so that when your catapult arm swings, it has something to smack into. I'm going to give you one possible way to do this. There are many different ways you could go about it, many different design strategies on it. I'll just keep mine fairly simple, and I'll show you something that would probably work okay. So I'm going to create a new sketch on this face right here. I'm going to try to find the center, and here it is. And I will take a center line and just go straight up from this. And this is where you get some decision making about how tall do you want it to be. I'll go ahead and set mine to 2.5 inches. In fact, I'm not sure that that was perpendicular, so I'm going to redo that really quick. It looked like it was off, not centered exact, so I'm going to make sure that it's completely vertical like that, and I'll go up to about 2.5 inches. If you want, you can smart dimension it to get exactly what you want, so I'll set it to 2.5 for mine here. Okay, and now I'm basically going to draw a triangle structure down here. I don't really need to go all the way to the ends. It just needs to have enough stability to be able to hold on fairly tight. So I will do another center line, and I'll decide how far over I want to go. Maybe I'll take this out 1.5 inches. So I'll put another center line there, and I'll do a smart dimension and set that to 1.5 inches. And now I'm going to start making some line drawings. So essentially I'm going to go up starting from here, and I'll go there. Okay. And now I can mirror this about this line if I want to. So I'll go in my sketch here. I will go to mirror entities, and I want to mirror this entity, and let's see if I have that other line in there. I don't yet, and I'll get it in a minute. So I really just want to mirror this. And what do I want to mirror it about? I'm going to mirror it about that. So I'll click the check mark on that. And then to get a complete closed contour, I'll connect it here like that. And if I exit that sketch, that drawing should be a complete closed contour. So now I'm going to extrude that. So I'll go to features and I'll extrude that. And I'm not going to do a blind extrusion like it defaults to. I'm going to extrude up to a surface. And the surface I'm going to send it up to is this surface here, so that if I ever decide to change the thickness of the overall thing, this feature should be changed as well. Okay, so now I've got that feature. I want to mirror that entire feature around the other side of it. So to figure that out, I'm going to start looking at my planes. I have a front plane. That is what I'm going to mirror this about. So I'll go in and do a mirror feature. And because I had front plane already selected, that's what I'm going to mirror it about. Then I'll drop this box down here. And I'm going to say I want to mirror that boss extrude. So that's the feature that I want to mirror around it. And then I'll go ahead and click the check mark there. Now, obviously, that is actually not what I wanted. Let me undo that. Let's see if I can get that to work a little bit better. So let's see. This boss extrude goes from here to here, right? So it should cover that. I just want to make sure that's solid. That is. Okay, so now let's try this one more time. So I'm going to go mirror. The mirroring face, if I go expand this, should have been the front plane, right? So I want to mirror that feature around that. And then what feature do I want to mirror? I want to mirror this. See, that looks better. And let's see. Well, that is strange. I was not expecting it to make that cut through like that, all the way through. But I can solve that by doing another cut, which I think I'm going to have to do. So I'll do one more sketch. On this, I'm going to sketch, basically, I can sketch it on this plane, and we'll do a new sketch there. And essentially, I need to draw a rectangle. So I'll do a corner rectangle that will go from this point, and then I'll grab this as a reference. Let's see if I can do this. Yep, grab this as a reference. That should snap in there. Hoping it does that. Looks okay. And then my feature on this is I'm going to do an extruded cut. And I'll do a cut through all. You can do both directions, so it cuts everything out. And there. It's not exactly the way I wanted to do it, but that seems to work. Okay. Now, to make your catapult lighter, you might cut another triangle out of there, but the one final thing I want to show you is I want to have a post that runs across here, so I'll go ahead and do that right now. So I'm going to do another sketch, but what I might do really quick, let's see, we've got this mirrored feature here. I'm going to suppress this for just a moment. So, well, I don't know that I can do that. So let's see. Let me undo that. Let me see if I can take this and hide that feature. Well, that's not really what I want to do either. Well, I'm just kind of struggling all over today. It's fine. I'll show you the other way to do it. So I'm going to basically draw a post across here. So I'll start by doing a sketch, and I'm going to sketch on this plane. Now, even though it looks like I'm drawing on the other plane, it's fine. I'm going to go to do a center line starting at this apex here, make sure it's straight down, and you could decide how far down you want it to go. I'm going to have this come at 0.75 inches. So I'll smart dimension that to 0.75 inches. You don't have to do this necessarily, but it's just nice to get things where you want them. And then I'm going to draw a circle in here. This circle, I'm going to do, let's go 0.5 diameter circle. So that's about 0.25. I'll get it close, and then I'll go to Smart Dimension, and I'll come in here, and I'll set it to 0.5. Okay, and this sketch is fully defined. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and click Exit. Now I'm going to do a feature, and I'm going to extrude it. You can see that it's going to be extruding out. If I do a blind, it looks like this, and if you drag this, you can see, that's going to come out this far, but I'm going to extrude it up to a surface, and the surface I'm going to go to is going to be this next surface. So I'll make the post go all the way across here. And now I have something that the catapult arm can smack into and hopefully fire the eraser. So you'll be putting a couple dowels through here, one for your arm and one for your to hold on to the rubber bands if you're going to use the model that we have in class. One final thing, I really don't like these sharp edges on here, so I'm going to find this guy right here, and I think I'm going to go put some fillets on there. What size fillets, I don't know yet. I think I'll just go ahead and start with 0.25, and I definitely want to get those sharp corners rounded. So let me do 0.25 there, and then maybe I'll start to increase it and see what I get. And that was too much because it's self-intersecting. Okay, so that was too much, so I can't do that. Let's try 0.1 again. Let's see what that gives me. Nope, it's not going to take the fillet. I think it's not going to do the fillet because those edges are way too sharp. So maybe instead of a fillet, maybe I will do a chamfer. Let's try that instead. So I'll take this surface here, and I'm going to do it on the one that's going to get mirrored. There we go. Chamfering it seems to be working a little bit better. And then I'll click the check mark. And then I may do the same over here. So we'll put a chamfer on that. Ideally, I thought it would, because I did it on one side, it would do it on the other, but it's okay. So let's see, we'll go and do a chamfer, and I'll just make sure I have the same settings and click the check mark on that. Okay, so that gives it slightly better look to it. Oh, well, I don't like it, but you get the idea. Now I'm going to try filleting these corners down here just so that they're a little bit smoother. There's 0.1, there's 0.2, 0.3. I'll go ½ inch, give it a nice look. And then I'll do that one, and I'll orbit around and get that one, and orbit around and get that one too. Just takes a little bit of the hard edges off of it and gives it a little bit better appearance. So now that that's done, I would probably save it as an STL file, and we'll see what the weight is. Remember, there's some weight restrictions. Let me go ahead and do that while I'm on this already very long video. So I'm going to go ahead and save my progress that I have here. So the SolidWorks file is going to be saved. You're going to get some warnings about tool pathing and stuff. Don't worry about that. That's happening because all of the stuff that we were going to be doing to mill it out now has changed, and whether it will work or not is very questionable, but we don't care because we're not going to be milling it anyway, so you're going to 3D print it. So if I go to File, Save As, and then I'm going to change it to an STL format, and then I'm going to save it. It's in my folder that I always use. I'll say yes to that. And I'm just going to go check and see what the weight of this is going to be and give you some tips on maybe printing it. So we'll open up Prusa Slicer. I'm not sure what version is current right now, but this is the one I'm going to be using. And I'll go File, Imp. No, I don't want to update it. Go File, Import, STL. And there's the base for it. Okay, and let's see what it looks like. There we go. I'm very likely going to be printing it on this bottom face like this. It will need some supports, right, to get that. So I'm going to set it up for, I'm going to go 0.25 structural. Prusa PLA, this will go to our Core 1 printers. Supports everywhere that it's needed. You can change the infill if you don't think that's good enough. You can also decide if you want to rotate it, but I'll just go ahead and do the default just to get a sense of what the weight is going to be. I believe that the year that we're doing this right now, the weight limit is 250. So this is well under. It's going to take about 3.5 hours to print. I don't like the fact that it puts supports in these holes, but you know, it's probably needed and it's going to be okay. So this should be totally good because the rest of the catapult is going to weigh nothing even close to this. So looks like we're in good shape to have a design like this ready to go.